Thanks for joining us here on Good Day Stateline. In the very recent past, our weather has not been kind to us, and the American Red Cross has certainly played a part in ensuring those affected are taken care of. Joining me now is CEO of the American Red Cross of Chicago and Northern Illinois, Selena Roldan. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much in advance, for everything you guys have been doing.
Thank you.
And thanks so much for coming. The Red Cross of Northwest Illinois has been so busy lately responding to the recent flooding. How has your organization been helping? What have you been doing?
So through the power of our incredible volunteers and also through the great city and county partners that we've had in Northwest Illinois, we've opened 3 shelters. We had 3 shelters open where people were able to come and get food, comfort, just a warm place to be able to stay. And now we've actually started the process of passing out critical supplies, cleanup kits, and we've actually passed out over 400 cleanup kits so far to help support the community.
That's incredible. 400 is a lot.
It is, it is.
As well as those shelters, you need them, obviously, if you can't be in your home.
Exactly. So flooding can be absolutely devastating. I don't think people always realize how devastating it can be to people who have lost everything and the cleanup that's involved and how long-term that can be. So the Red Cross is incredibly proud to be able to be there to help support the community recover.
So additionally, you have other activities going on during the disaster, and that includes a lot of blood drives, right?
Yes, so the work of the American Red Cross never stops, and one of the biggest things that we do, and one of the most important, is also our blood drives. So the need for blood is constant. Every 2 seconds, someone in this country needs blood, which is unbelievable when you think about that type of need. So the blood drives are continuing, and we're always encouraging people to come out and find their local blood drive and help support.
And the blood drives, the blood, does it say local?
So since the American Red Cross is responsible for 40% of the nation's blood supply, our blood, that's one of the powers of the American Red Cross, is we can put blood all over wherever it is the need is most. But people can give locally as well just by going to our website and putting on their local address and finding out where their local blood drive is.
Which is great, because right now we are talking about local tragedies, the flooding, but sometimes when there's a problem elsewhere, giving blood is something you can do.
Exactly, and you do have to think, certainly locally, blood drives can be canceled when there's really severe weather. Schools and churches and other community organizations are some of the biggest suppliers of blood. So when there is significant flooding in a local area, we do need to figure out other ways to have more blood drives to replenish the supply that we need.
Sure, okay, so you have another program called Sound the Alarm, and we want to hear a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So Sound the Alarm is our home fire safety campaign with the ultimate goal of reducing fire-related deaths and injuries by 50%. So 7 people die in a home fire every single day in this country. It's actually the largest disaster that the American Red Cross responds to. So through Sound the Alarm, we are actually going to home and installing smoke alarms in homes through, again, the power of our volunteers.
That's really great. And you're focusing on installing them rather than passing them out. Is there a reason why?
Yes, so exactly. And there's a space for everyone to be able to involved in this. There's many jobs that you can have as a Red Cross volunteer for Sound the Alarm. So we know that part of it is actually the installation. So I've actually gone into homes where on a block where there's been a fire and there may be an elderly person there or someone who can't install, and there's the smoke alarm sitting on their counter, and there's no one there to actually install it to keep them safe. So our smoke alarms also have 10-year batteries that can't be taken out, so you can't forget that you've used it for a remote control or something else like that, which can be incredibly dangerous. And so we actually have someone that has a ladder, someone that has a drill, and someone who's an educator to be actually install the smoke alarm, because part of it is installing the smoke alarm, and then part of it is the fire safety education that keeps families safe.
And I'm sure you test it too.
Absolutely. So we show you how to test it. We show you how to test it twice a year, but again, with 10-year batteries, you know that you can be safe for a very long time.
So what's the goal with the Sound the Alarm program, just to get every home?
Exactly. So during the actual Sound the Alarm time, throughout the country, we have a goal of installing over 100,000 smoke alarms, but we install smoke alarms all year long. So we also encourage people, if you need a smoke alarm, know someone that does, you can actually go to our website, getasmokealarm.org, and sign up to get a smoke alarm, and we will come out and install it for you.
Probably the simplest website or the most direct, getasmokealarm.org.
Absolutely.
So how can people get involved in helping out with this?
So we are actually going to be having 2 major events. So we're going to be in Freeport on April 27th and in Rockford on May 11th. So we're looking for volunteers to go to soundthealarm.org.
Okay.
So if you go to www.soundthealarm.org, and you can sign up to be a volunteer and come out and help us with all the different ways and activities that we're going to be actually going out and going into homes with our great volunteers volunteers to install smoke alarms.
And that is really, April 27th is just in a few weeks.
It
May
is.
is going to be here in a minute too.
Exactly.
Of course. So if you wanted to learn more about volunteering, what exactly would it, if you sign up to volunteer, what does that entail?
So we have a lot of different jobs the day. It's, setting up the supplies, some of the logistics. It's sometimes just getting the food and the other things that we'll have for our volunteers through the course of the day, because we usually start in the morning. People will actually sign up with appointments ahead of time and go door to door and be actually installing smoke alarms in homes. So we have some people that actually go out and do that, and other people that just handle more of the logistics of the day. So there's a job for anyone that would want to volunteer and help us in this really life-saving event that we're planning.
And it seems like it's a full day event.
It is. So we start in the morning and go through the day and try to help as many people in the community as we can.
Do you know roughly how many in one day you've installed before?
We've had major events. We just recently had ones in Galena and Elizabeth this past weekend where we installed over 300 smoke alarms.
That's incredible. And there are so many different, I used to live in an apartment building here that used to be a house, so it's all broken down differently, and you never know really if you didn't install it yourself how old that smoke detector might be. So this is a great opportunity to...
Exactly. And we always just want to double check for people as well, because we'll occasionally go into homes and people will say, well, I have working smoke alarms, or I think that they're working, and we'll go in, we'll check them for sure, and if they're not working, we have our own smoke alarms, and it's also really important to know that it's completely free.
Oh yeah, that's the selling point for
Yes.
sure. Not only can you save
completely
your life,
free.
it's completely
Yes.
free.
So it's absolutely no hassle. Just call us, and it's a pretty quick process. We're in the homes for about 20 to 30 minutes. Get to also talk to you about some really important fire safety information. The average American thinks that you have 5 minutes or more to get out of your home, but you actually have 2 minutes or less if there's a fire. So it's really important to be practicing your family safety drills as well.
Absolutely. I like my my smoke alarms to be somewhere near a ladder too, so when I'm cooking, when I set it off all the time, I'm able to reach it and turn it off. More information we can find, you said all the easiest websites again, soundthealarm.org/Chicago is how we directly get into the Rockford region too, right?
Yes, exactly, and that's the best way to find us and to be able to volunteer and to also register for a smoke alarm if you needed to at getaSmokealarm.org.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I
Good luck
appreciate
with
it.
everything.
Thank you.
After the break, Eyewitness News meteorologist Joey Marino will let us know if we're out of the woods with all the flooding we've been experiencing. And later the show, we'll learn how Remade is changing lives at the Rockford Rescue Mission. But first, did you miss any previous shows? You can find them right now at GoodDayStateline.com and on our YouTube channel. We'll be right back with more Good Day Stateline.